about 45 minutes north of Chicago proper, here at Great America, Six Flags Great America. We're gonna go around, show you all the rides, the cool stuff in this park, the food, the shows, everything about it. Let's go check out. So let's kick this video off by showing off the park's marquee ride, and in my opinion, its best ride, and that is Goliath. This Rocky Mountain construction ride is amazing. It's got this awesome structure with the lift hill going down into this super steep, almost vertical drop, and then it goes into a tunnel over this giant overbank. It is just really, really cool. Every part of this ride is awesome. One of my favorite parts too is over here, where it goes into a big giant Immelman and drops down. You've got the inverted stall right there where you're just hanging upside down. It's a great ride. I love it. Smooth, fast, airtime, craziness. A little on the short side, so not going to be one of the best RMCs out there, but a great ride indeed. Also, word of advice when you go to ride Goliath, right now it has a pretty long line, but there is also a kind of a hidden single rider entrance. So if you don't mind riding by yourself and you just want to get on the ride, you could probably get on with a 5 to 10 minute wait just going through the single rider line, depending on, you know, how many people are in it. But that's a little tip for you. Here is X-Flight, the B&M wing coaster. And this is actually a ride I like quite a bit because it's got a ton of head chopper and feet chopper. It really plays up the keyhole elements of the wing coaster. So I think it's a lot of fun. Just like boom, swinging through that thing. Also, these rides are like this element here. You got like the double keyhole, and then keyhole. And that's a really cool element. Fun ride, a little short, but it's still neat. I'm not a huge wing coaster guy. I will say I do like this one better than Wild Eagle at Dollywood. I do think I like Gatekeeper at Cedar Point a little bit better, but I do like the keyhole stuff. And here comes the Demon. One of the park's more classic roller coasters here. You're kind of a normal old-timey Arrow double loop and then double corkscrew. It does get a little rough in the corkscrew section, but I do like the Demon because of things like that tunnel there with all the cheesy lights, and it does have a bunch of rock work that it goes in and out of through some of the loops. I mean, that's cool, but here comes the best part about the Demon. The best part about the Demon, the super cheesy Demon theme song in a line. Up next is V2, the park's Intamin Impulse Coaster. And if you haven't been on one of these before, they are a lot of fun. It launches forwards and backwards. The back spike is completely vertical. The front spike has the big turn on it. Also, this part is a ride that is rumored to be on the removal list. It's being rumored that it might get sent to another Six Flags park. So if you're going to the park this year, definitely try and hop on V2 if you've not already, because it might not be here too much longer. Does not work. Also, Molly likes the name of the pretzel stand, Captain Salty's Pretzel. Not quite open yet for our trip, but their new for 2017 ride is one of these SNS free fly coasters called the Joker. Should be up and running towards the end of May. They've still got some work left to do, but these rides, they look like fun. I have not been on one yet, so I can't personally tell you. But there you go. That'll be open if you're coming towards the end of May. Would not be a Six Flags park without a Batman the Ride, and they have the original Batman the Ride here. Yes, this was the first one, the first B&M inverted coaster ever built. So if you're a huge coaster nerd into history of rides and things like that, well, this might be for you. For me, it's pretty skippable. As the Batman the Ride, it's a nice ride, but I've been on so many of them before that I don't need to ride while it's here. Fun layout, nice and intense, but if you've been on one, you've been on them all.
We can to defend the city of tomorrow.
Battle for Metropolis, one of my favorite rides in the park. Interactive, SNS, 3D, and animatronics. It's really got it all. Love this ride.
Luther has used his...
I love how it works too. They give you not only your score, but they tell you like I'm one of the top 10% of all time. Here I am looking cool. Anyway, love the great ride. Awesome ride. Here we got Raging Bull, the park's B&M hyper coaster with a great first drop that goes right into a tunnel. And then it goes to this big awesome horseshoe curve there. I will say, probably I've been on a lot of B&M hyper coasters, and this is probably my least favorite because it's not nearly as airtime heavy as a lot of them are. It's a hyper twister coaster, as they say. So it doesn't give you that great airtime. But I will say it's definitely a back row ride because the best part of airtime is right there on the drop. If you're in the back row, because they have the little teaser drop before the big drop, and that's my favorite part. The first drop, back row, airtime into the tunnel. Still a fun ride. Not my favorite B&M hyper coaster, but probably a top 3, top 4 ride in the park, easily. Now coming at you from Drop of Doom VR on the park's Giant Drop, their old drop tower here in the southwest area. A couple things about Giant Drop, or in Drop of Doom VR, you do need ride reservations. So if you're coming while this is in operation, definitely come here sometime early in the day and you get your Fast Pass S ticket, which looks like this. I actually really enjoyed this ride. I just got off, and it worked perfectly for me. You know, it's cool too because not only is it VR, but you if you tap the right side, like you see that lady tapping, you shoot a gun and you get a score. Like for me, mine worked perfectly, and I had a blast. Molly's lagged, so when the ride vehicle dropped, her character did not. So she did not get the full effect, and that's kind of, you know, the risky one with VR. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I thought it worked perfectly for me, and it really made, I thought the experience was really cool. Molly, what do you think of Drop of Doom VR?
Well, it was perfectly in sync, and then halfway up, my shooter stopped working, and then whenever I was supposed to fall, there was probably a 10-second delay. So, as they said, unbuckle your seatbelt, I was still falling.
But I liked it. I liked it a lot. I know. I definitely like VR on something like this as opposed to a more intense coaster, because with the just straight up and down motion, I don't really feel like you have that motion sickness kind of thing. And I do like they're doing the ride reservations thing as well, because the Drop of Doom, they are running on 3 out of the 6 towers, and the waits have been, you know, they don't dispatch very fast. Like, they probably dispatch one group every 5 minutes or so. So, I mean, again, you got the dispatch issue there, but overall, I give it a big thumbs up. If you can get a ride reservation and you can go on without a big wait, I totally recommend it. I thought it was a ton of fun. Let's see these guys drop. They're up there battling giant spiders with their super soldier mech warrior friends. And there they go.
I'm still falling.
Here's Buccaneer Battle, which is the park's splash battle attraction, and it's actually got a really nice amount of theming here for a Six Flags park. You can see a big tipping bucket. I don't think they're running that today because it's like 50 degrees. I'm actually kind of shocked this ride is open when it's this cold. Nobody's on it, but it's neat, little theming and interactive stuff. I like these rides. I'm not a big fan of actually riding them. I just think they add a lot of energy to parks. And I wouldn't ride, but I would sort of hang out on the side and shoot people and then run away. Anyway, here is the Buccaneer Battle. Here we have the Wizard, which is the park's most classic roller coaster in my mind. I like this ride a lot. It's an old sports car design. I think with a sports car auto sled, something like that. And it features puddle seating, and it's a great ride for kids and families and things like that. It's not super thrilling, but it's in kind of a shady wooden section of the park with a nice lake and things like that. And it's old, classic-y fun. Not a lot of times where I go to a Six Flags park and I say, like, man, they have a classic ride. But this is one I would consider a classic ride. Also a very unique spiral first lift there. It does not use a chain, it does use electricity to get up the lift. And here goes the ride. What I think might be the most dizzying ride in the park, and that is King Chaos. Here in the Mardi Gras theme section of the park, with this lovely little fountain with these, I like alligator guys, and a big old top spin kind of ride. Let's see these guys, let's see what they're going to do this time. Alright, going up. Nope, they're being held right there. They've been flipping a lot. Kind of doing boring stuff right now. More amused by this alligator. That guy's cool. Now let's see if this thing's going to do anything cool this time. Up, it's up at the top. And alright, they're doing the hanging thing. And that probably feels terrible. And then it does that.
Welcome back on the ride.
Seems dumb. Over here in this corner of the park, you have what I like to call like Clone Corner, as you got a Superman Ultimate Flight, which is the park's flying roller coaster back there. And then to the right over here, you have the Gotham City Rail for the Dark Knight coaster, the indoor-themed Wild Mouse. Neither one's a great ride, neither one's a bad ride. I like Dark Knight coaster because I like indoors and theming stuff. And Superman's fun if you have not been on a flying coaster before. Here's a really cool piece of history here, and that's the Little Dipper. It was built in the 1950s at a park called Kittyland here in Illinois, and they brought it over here in the last 5 or 6 years or so. And it's an adorable kids wooden roller coaster, which is not something you get a lot of places. One train operation, so the lines do get long, but cute ride. I do really like the line here when you're in line for the Little Dipper. They've got all sorts of educational signs talking about all different things, from the history of Kittyland to the wooden coasters at the Six Flags Park. That one's about history of preserving rides. So you get all sorts of different things. This historical wooden roller coaster. Here we have Viper, one of the park's 3 wooden roller coasters. And I really like this ride, guys. It's a pretty long ride. It's a traditional cyclone type layout, and it's good. It's very smooth for a wooden roller coaster. It's got some solid airtime moments, and I like it a lot. Kind of really off in the corner of the park, so sometimes you can get on it without too much of a weight. But you know, airtime smooth, fun wooden roller coaster. Thumbs up for the Viper. So this I found interesting. Here is Totally Chicken boneless wings. They don't actually sell boneless wings. It's crazy. All they sell is chicken strips and fries and sodas. It is, but it's not boneless wings. Why would you name it boneless wings? Six Flags, come on. I do find this to be one of the prettier sections of the park. I think it's Hometown Park, which is home to a couple like kids, little Hampton-esque spinning flat rides. But you're right here on the river. There's a little like waterfall type thing over there, and I think it's kind of pretty. You've also got the school, which I think is like the first aid booth. If you're interested in a $15 Long Island themed to the Goliath roller coaster, Blue Long Island, go in here, or $10 beers. I'm gonna skip the $10 beers. Had way too much to drink in Wrigleyville and Cinco de Mayo, but if you want a beer, very expensive liquor, go in there. The return of the Lobster in 2017. Now, I believe this was the ride that was going where the Joker is going, and I think it used to be like an Enterprise or something in there, and now it's going to be the Lobster, the return of the Lobster. I'm not familiar enough with Great American history to know why the Lobster is returning. So you can see the pieces for what will be the Lobster going in, sitting over here by the Demon in this field, and you can actually see like the big old motor centerpiece of it too. Something I'm not used to seeing at a Six Flags park is live entertainment, and they have a trolley show just like it Magic Kingdom does. Not to the same level, but same kind of idea. The trolley comes out over here, and then they do it again in New Orleans in the Mardi Gras section. Lunchtime here at Six Flags, we ate in the food court area. I brought the Six Flags Dining Pass because I've eaten a lot of Six Flags parks this year, and we got carnitas tacos. The chips and salsa they come in there pretty good. Molly, why don't you give one of these tacos a try? It's also, I would never recommend eating at Six Flags Park unless you have something like this, because this meal here was $13 for 2 tacos and chips, which is not a good deal.
Not glad.
There we go, $13. It's not bad. Bit of a bummer here. Pictorium is not being used this year, which is the park's IMAX theater. And when I was a season pass holder up here, I used to always love going in there and having a nice 40-minute break in the air conditioning and seeing an IMAX movie. Not being used right now, so that's kind of a bummer. Normally I wouldn't go and show a scrambler on a video like this, but I love that this ride is called the Hometown Fun Machine. And it's also in a weird corner of the park. It's sort of stuck off on its own, like behind in the Hometown Square, right next to the Wizard. The Fun Machine. Shooting into the sun here, you got the park's observation tower, the Sky Trek Tower, which is really fun. I love these rides. And I'm also a fan of fractions, so I also love that sign. That's wonderful. So they have a couple different signs around the park saying this, and they don't say who gave them this award. I think it's self-proclaimed. Well, I haven't noticed the park to be dirty. I definitely haven't noticed it to be the cleanest theme park in the world. Camp Cartoon is one of the 3 kids sections here at the park, and it's kind of interesting because, to my knowledge, it's the only Six Flags park that has a Hanna-Barbera cartoon area. You've got a kid-friendly Jetsons roller coaster, you've got a Scooby-Doo Spy Machines, and a Flintstone section, so kind of older cartoons, but I like that it's different. For our snack on the Six Flags dining plan, we got just a big old Bavarian pretzel. Honestly, the list of snacks is not very interesting. Or it's really just pretzels and churros and nachos with cheese, that kind of thing. But we went with the pretzel because there was no line. Some of the stuff has long lines. This one here in the beer cart area, the Yukon Territory, did not. We also got this because the waffle fry stand was closed. We really wanted waffle fries.
I'm sad.
Great America is home to two different log flume rides, and it's kind of interesting because they're both kind of right next to each other. You got one that's themed to little boats and one that's themed to little logs. And I can't really see it in this picture, but the log one has like a double down on the drop, and you're going to see the one of the logs fruit by right now. So if you're going to pick between the two, I would recommend the log theme one and the Yukon Territory. So I don't normally mention midway games, but this one caught my attention. The County Fair Game of Thrones, where you have to throw a goblet bowl into a toilet to win your own stuffed piece of food. To give them points for creativity here. Dominating the skyline in the back of the park is the American Eagle. And no, not the fashionable store in the mall. This is a large wooden roller coaster with two different sides. So if they're running boats, you could race somebody else. It's very, very pretty. It's fast. It's fun. I like this ride a lot, especially the big giant helix. Not the most forceful ride, not a lot of airtime, but a very, very pretty ride. Hey guys, look over here. Adorable baby ducks. Geese, I'm sure they're geese. But look how cute. They're like little puffballs. That's adorable. I do quite enjoy the Moose Burger Lodge theming with all the different mooses, including the big center moose wearing a Clint Novak beanie. Look at that. So we were walking to the park today. We're just Ubering around town while we're here in the Chicagoland area. And you're greeted by this lovely sign. Is your car being towed right now? If you parked across the street, it probably is. Yeah, that's Six Flags. Nothing like making your guests feel welcome. When you first enter the park, you get to see this wonderful, I think it's Colombian carousel. And it's really awesome. It's got the big reflecting pond out front. And it's one of the few carousels that's a two-level carousel. And it's nice. It's very, very, very pretty. All sorts of different animals, too. So you can ride a giraffe, or a pig, plenty of horses, there's a dragon. Cool carousel.
So while the legend was in the bathroom, I was told I need to film the condor over here. Looks interesting. It spins and goes up and down, and that's all I really know about the condor. Yeah.
This is an adorable sign. I mean, how can you not love that? Another major kids section is the Kids Obelisk, which used to be known as Wiggles World back when they had that license. Home to a couple of different things. They got a plane ride, a car ride in the back, and some playground structures. So we got kids, another place to take them here. Also, it's under a giant tent, a bunch of it, so if it's raining, a good place to hang out. Time for meal number 2. We went over here to the hilariously named Chop 6. For the orange chicken, which is normally $13.50, we have the dining plan, so it's free. Let's give this a whirl. It does not look good. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not an overly large portion, but the chicken's actually got a nice sauce on it. How's lo mein?
Not bad.
And it came with fortune cookies, like any Eurasian restaurant. And I'm really hoping the fortune cookies have hilarious stuff written on them, like, you will ride X-Flight, or like, Mr. Six is actually your father. Here in the Graham Music Hall is the park's main show called EFX 360, very similar to a show I saw at Six Flags America about 4 or 5 years ago, which could best be described as like a budgety Blue Man Group meets a budgety Laser Man, which you might think sounds bad, but it's actually a really, really great show. It's very different for a theme park. I like it way better than your typical, like, hooray for everything, or here's music from the 70s show you might see at a lot of parks. I thought it was good, you know, lots of cool stuff with lasers and fog and giant beach balls and strobe lights and percussion. It was actually a really fun show, and I do highly recommend it. Also, big ups to Six Flags Great America. They had a lot of entertainment running early in the season, which is something you don't see at a lot of the regional parks. And that'll do it for our day here at Six Flags Great America. Overall, I like this park quite a bit. I think it's got some interesting character rides and some really nice theme sections. Like, I love this old-timey West section. Although, I mean, every park really has an old-timey West section nowadays. But I like it. I like their collection. There are a lot of roller coasters. Wish they had a little bit more unique stuff instead of clone stuff. But overall, I had a really good day. Loved Goliath. For me, Goliath's definitely the highlight. Justice League was great. For me, the biggest surprise was the VR drop tower. One, it actually worked. and it was
Kind
pretty
of.
cool. It worked for me, not for you. So I had a very nice day here, and overall I've been to almost every. There's only one park in the Six Flags chain I have not been to, and if I had to rank it, this is probably a 4th for me on the scale of favorite list. So it's it's definitely in the top half. All right, now that was my thoughts. Molly, you're not normally the coaster boy I am. What were your thoughts on Great America here?
I agree with you. It's one of the better Six Flags. It's very well themed in some of the areas. I love Goliath. Very unique attraction. It looks completely different.
Yeah, it's got an awesome look to it.
Overall, very, very fun day, and it is not your typical Six Flags, I feel like. It has a little bit, that's why it's in the top Six Flags.
Yeah, not something we covered on the video. This is also where you would get into the Hurricane Harbor Water Park. They do have a pretty good size included with your admission water park if you're here when it's not 40 degrees. But that'll do it, guys. If you have any questions or comments about Six Flags Great America, let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to them. I know I asked some questions about some of the rides and their history, so be sure to reach out with some feedback on that as well. Anyway, signing off from Six Flags Great America.